All right, so my last video wasn't exactly a positive video, and I want to follow that up with I want to say a more positive video or a more educational video because I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. I made a couple of videos about King Goguen, and the long video that was almost 2 hours. In that video, Sonny and Kim talked about discernment, and they preach about discernment and use your discernment and stuff like that, right? This word is not necessarily a common word. At least when I was growing up, it wasn't a word that was used a lot. But it seems now, like in the age of social media, especially with a lot of information about higher knowledge being released, it's become a more commonplace term. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break it down. I'm going to talk about what Kim and Sonny said. I'm going to read off to you three different definitions of what discernment means so we know what we're talking about and we have a common ground to go off of in a common understanding. And I'm also going to respond to a comment that was left in my last video by Flamencology. And they brought up, a point that I think needs to be addressed. And it is what it is. I already responded to them, but I want to really go in depth into what they said because people need to understand why I get upset, why I say certain things the way I do, and also they need to understand what discernment means is the bottom line. I don't like using words if I don't know what the word means. I don't like repeating things if I don't know what I'm talking about. That's not how I roll. And if you're that kind of person, you need a wake up call and you need to realize that you're not going to get anywhere if that's what you do. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the definition of discernment. So I'm going to read off the Google definition, which is the ability to judge well. That's a very summed up definition. And I'm also going to give you guys my definition of it. So we're really, really on a common ground here. I think actually my definition is better than theirs, but we're going to use all the definitions just to make sure. So Google says the ability to judge well, right? Merriam-Webster says the quality of being able to comprehend what is obscure. Skill in discerning. Okay, cool. And then which dictionary is this? I don't even know. Cambridge? Okay. The Cambridge Dictionary says the ability to judge people and things well. I think all these definitions are good. The only issue I have is that the way I see it, they're classifying it as to have a good ability to judge. The way I look at the word or define a word is the ability to judge, period. Because to be honest, judging well is not something humans do. Absolutely not. If humans had the ability to judge well or discern, as the definitions say, we wouldn't be in the world we're in now. Unfortunately, very few people can discern the way that the dictionaries say. But if we just talk about being able to judge knowledge and decipher knowledge, period, that's where I think humans need to start. Because humans can't even do that. Humans can't even do the basic fundamental interpretation of any knowledge that they perceive or are given. That's where we're at in this world, let alone judge the information well. But let's just go by the dictionary. It says the ability to judge well, judge definitions or judge information, whatever. Judge well, right? Let's go with that. The way I do things, right, is if someone says something to me or I'm given some information or whatever, especially if it's higher knowledge, I really put it through the ringer. Meaning I look at everything around me, my life, everything I've been through, everything I've dealt with, what I know, what I see, and I really apply that knowledge and say, does this make sense with everything I've experienced? And even if I haven't experienced something, is this something that could be useful to me? And what can I do with this information? That's the way that I discern knowledge, right? I look at the practical use of what I'm being given, and then I go and I try to either apply it, use it, incorporate it into my own knowledge. And if it's useless information, I dismiss it. I don't retain, and I'm not saying I forget it completely, but I don't necessarily keep it at the forefront of my mind and say, oh yeah, this is something that I need to talk about. If it's useless and it's not helping anyone or anything, especially me, I'm not going to use it or talk about it. It's just going to be there, but and eventually it will be forgotten unless it's brought up again in the future by someone or something else, right? So when Kim and Sunny talk about using discernment, and this is a problem I have with the Kim community, or any community for that matter. Like, every community is like this. Every community of truth tellers is like this. Or even people that are evil. Even cults. Everybody does this. Just because somebody gives you some information or knowledge that you think sounds right doesn't give you the right or authority or privilege to be a lazy thinker and not apply any discernment of your own to figure out if what they're saying is the truth, and to try to come to a true understanding of their words and then have your own opinion about it. Parroting what somebody says or repeating what somebody says because it feels good to you or sounds good doesn't mean really anything. It doesn't mean jack shit. It just means that literally you're just a parrot. You're just a copy paste person, somebody that just takes what someone says and regurgitates it because they want to sound smart or they want to feel like the cool person on the block this week. And when the last video I just made about that person, that's all that person did. They would consistently regurgitate knowledge they got from somebody else without any discernment of their own, without any understanding of it, without any interpretation of it, without any practical understanding of whether this information is useful or not. What can we do with this? What are we going to do about this? It was just, this person said this thing, this person said this thing, this person said this thing. You can literally look at the video and see what I'm talking about. And I'm just going to say one little thing, a little disclaimer before I continue. If any of you soft pussy ass bitches gets offended by my words or me or the last video and you don't like what I had to say, get the fuck off my channel right now. I don't give a fuck. I am done cuddling people. I'm done coddling people. I am done having patience for ignorance. That's how we got to where we are now. That's how the world got to where it's at. This tolerance of ignorance. Tolerance of naive people that don't know shit. I'm done with it. If you don't like that shit, I'm not the person you need to be watching. Go watch Kim. Go watch somebody else. Don't watch me. That's the way I feel about it. But anyways, so with that being said, I had somebody who is a good longtime viewer also respond to that video, and I'm going to break down what they said, and I'm going to respond to this person. And I already did respond to this person, but I want to make sure that I'm clear with my words so this person doesn't get confused. And I like this person. I don't have any issues with this person. Never really known this person to say anything stupid. So Flame Ecology, I hope I'm saying your name right. This is for you, okay? You said, it's really difficult finding someone who has truly original ideas and insights to contribute to a topic of conversation. So many people watch other people's content and repeat their material in parrot fashion. You're right about that. And let me explain something here. There is no knowledge that exists that's new knowledge. Anything that's ever been known in the universe has already been known, has been discovered. There's nothing new. There's nothing fresh. Even the things that Kim says or that I say or that anyone says, all this knowledge is literally parroted, regurgitated knowledge. That's what it is. All of it is like this. That's not the issue. The issue is not parroting the information, because that's what literally everyone does. There's no way to know anything on this planet without someone else having told you. And that includes Kim. Kim didn't get any knowledge from herself. She was given all that knowledge. She was given all that information. Same thing with me. Same thing with anyone. Carrie Cassidy or anybody you want to talk about. Nobody has original knowledge. However, What everyone does have, again, we're going back to this word, is the ability to discern that knowledge. The ability to figure out if what they're saying is true or not. And how are you going to apply that knowledge? How are you going to, is it going to be beneficial to you or to anyone else? What are you going to do with it, right? So I don't have an issue with people repeating knowledge from someone else. I don't have a problem with that at all. That wasn't my issue with this person. My issue was that's all they did. They had no original thoughts of their own. They didn't bring any ideas of their own or any, insight or interpretation of it or discernment or how are we going to use this knowledge or is this useful? It's like this. This is the best way to look at it. Let's say your car breaks down, right? And you need to replace a part on your car, right? But then somebody comes along and tells you, I know how to cook a turkey. And you're like, that's great. Seems like useful information. However, how is that going to help me with my car that's broken down? I need to replace a part on my car and you're telling me how to cook a fucking turkey. Do you understand? That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Like, and they're like, well, this person said, this is how you cook it. Like Gordon Ramsay said, this is how to cook a perfect turkey. We should talk about this. It's like, no, dude, no. And I can, even go even closer to the subject. Let me say a better example. Your car breaks down and somebody tells you how to replace a part on a bike or a wheel on a bike. And you're like, it's kind of like in the same neighborhood of information, but it's not necessarily applicable to what you need. Do you understand where I'm going with this? So it may be useful to know how to replace a tire on a bike if you ride bikes. But when someone needs to change a part on a car and you're talking about riding, like how to replace a part on a bike, it's not really useful. It's not going to help that problem, that issue. That's where I'm at with this. That's what's happening here. People are bringing information that seems useful to the topic or what's being discussed, but it's not. Especially when I've already said repeatedly, don't talk about fixing bikes. We're past that. That's not the discussion that we're having. I don't care about fixing a bike when I need to fix my car. Do you guys get where I'm going with this? I hope this is making sense. Long story short, if you're bringing useless knowledge to the conversation because it sounds good to you and somebody else repeated it to you and you want to repeat it to someone else, that's not helping anything. And this person that I banned or blocked off my channel, that's all they did. It's just talk about things they heard someone else say. And I'm like, that sounds cool. It's a good, let's have it's a cool conversation to have, but it's not helping the issue that I'm talking about. And I've already talked about this. So if I've already said, yeah, this is how you fix your bike, this is how you replace your tire, but this is irrelevant, we shouldn't talk about this because it's not helping the situation, and you're still talking about fixing the bike and I'm talking about fixing the car, do you see the problem here? This is the problem. Why are we talking about the wrong thing? That information isn't relevant or useful to what I'm trying to do. So we don't need to talk about that. Especially if I've already talked about it and I already said we don't need to talk about it. Which is what happened with this Charlie Kirk situation. So let me explain it as it pertains to the Charlie Kirk situation. This person wants to talk about it's a psyop, this, that, and the other. But that's not helping what I'm trying to do, which is use the information or the event to expose the evils of the world. So knowing that it's a psyop isn't contributing to me exposing the evils of the world. Why? Because if you just say it's a psyop, right? This is the part you guys listen, pay attention, listen. Urgent message coming in. If you just dismiss this event as a psyop, what you're doing is throwing the baby out with the bathwater. What do I mean by that? You're literally just saying this event doesn't matter. It's fake, doesn't count. and everything else is irrelevant when it comes to it. That's what happens in people's minds when you say it's a psyop. So then people stop their brains right there, and then they say, oh, it's a psyop, it's fake. Okay, we don't need to think about it. We don't need to talk about it. It's not real. He didn't really die. That's the end of the conversation. Do you see the problem here? When there's a whole world of fucking people literally marching across their countries, about to start civil wars in their countries because of Charlie Kirk's death, whether you thought it was fake or real. This is literally happening. There are people that are ready to kill each other over this shit. And you guys are talking about it's a fucking psyop? That's why I told this person, I said, the whole fucking world is a psyop. Everything is a psyop. Everything is fake. Everything is bullshit. This word is irrelevant to what we're trying to do here. What I'm trying to do. I'm trying to expose the evils of the world. So that's why when I first started talking about the Charlie Kirk situation, I was mostly focused on how people were reacting to it. Because you need to see these demons for who they are. You need to see that these people exist in this world. I worked in a prison. Let me tell you something about that. Anybody that's in a fucking prison deserves to be there. Those people are not human. They're demons. That's why they do the evil shit that they do. That's why they end up in fucking prisons. They're not human. The guy that killed that lady the lady from Ukraine on the subway, he's a fucking demon. He ain't a human. And you guys are sitting here talking about, oh, it's a psyop. It's a psyop. It's going to get people riled up. They're trying to cause... No shit, it's going to cause people to fucking fight. And that's going to happen regardless of whether you keep saying it's a psyop or not. You think because you keep saying it's a psyop that it's just going to stop everybody from fighting each other and exposing the evils and seeing the demons for who they are? No, your little use of the word psyop to try to sound intelligent isn't going to automatically end all the problems that are happening in the world right now. All this, what's going to happen is going to happen. So me, being me, I said, okay, how do I use this event to further expose the evils of the world? That's what I'm focused on. That's what I care about. I don't care about whether it was fake or real. I care about how are we going to use this event to expose the evils of the world so that we can make the world a better place. That's what I care about. Do you understand? I hope I'm making myself clear. I don't want to keep making these videos where I have to explain simple common sense shit. It's annoying. It's like, this is what makes me lose faith in humanity. When I have to explain this, and then I'm not saying you necessarily, Flameecology, but there'll be people that are sympathetic to people like that last person. That last person that I deleted off the channel, she's a naive idiot. And she's going to lead people astray with her bullshit. Because all she can do is parrot shit. Kim Goguen said this. Kim Goguen said this. She's going to lead people astray and nothing's going to get accomplished. And everyone's just, if everyone follows that lady, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. We're going to live in the same exact world of evil and bullshit and psyops because people are listening to her instead of trying to fix the problem and do something about it. That's what I'm trying to do. Do you understand? I'm trying to fix this shit. I'm not trying to talk about, well, it's a side. Pat yourselves on the back. Pat yourself on the head. We listened to Kim Goguen. Now we're cool. We're so smart. We repeated what Kim said. Whoa, look at us. Shut the fuck up, you dumb fucks. You don't know shit. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. That's why. That's one of the reasons why I stopped talking about Kim. Because I got tired of wanna-be know-it-alls coming to my fucking channel, repeating what Kim told them, having no original ideas or thoughts of their own, and trying to educate me. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? You're out of your goddamn mind. You think I named myself The Real Truth just because I thought it was fucking cute? No, motherfucker. I am the goddamn real truth. I don't care if you like that or not. I don't care if you think I'm arrogant or mean or whatever. I don't give a fuck. That's why I said there's a whole video I made talking about if you don't like me, get the fuck off my channel. Do you understand? Do you understand? That's the kind of time I'm on. I'm not playing games anymore. I have zero tolerance for ignorance, zero patience. I'm not going to sit here and hold people's hands every fucking time they say some stupid shit. I'm done with it. And this lady, I gave her plenty of fucking chances. I have a history with this person. I talked to this person off of YouTube. I've talked to them on Skype. I've talked to them on Telegram. This person knows me pretty well in terms of the way I am. So I'm very annoyed that after all the conversations I've had with this person, they are still acting this way. And they still don't understand where I'm coming from. I'm done with it. So if you're one of these dumb fucks that likes to repeat shit and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, I'm going to fucking block your ass. I'm going to tell you one time. I'm going to say, you're a dumb fuck. You don't know what you're talking about. And if you're going to repeat dumb shit to me, I'm going to fucking block your ass. I'm going to give you one chance. I shouldn't give you any chances, but I will. Only because I think the people that come from Kim's community usually have good intentions and are usually good people. Even if their ignorance leads to evil because they're stupid and they don't know what they're talking about and they're repeating it without actually discerning the information and figuring out if it's useful. I still try to give people that come from Kim's community the benefit of the doubt, because I think for the majority of those people are good people and they are trying to make a difference in a positive way. But that lady, I gave her way too many fucking chances. That's all I have to say about this. Think you guys get the point. Flameecology, if you watch this, I have nothing against you. Your comment just, you said what it was. And I wanted to make sure that other people that are watching understand where I'm coming from in case there's any confusion. I, once again, took my time to make another video to explain to you guys how I think and why I think this way. And last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is, if you watch all my content and all my videos, you will get a full picture of why I say things the way I do and the things that I know. If you're only going to watch the Kim Goguen videos, you're not going to fucking get shit. You're wasting your time. So I lied. There is one more thing I want to touch on. I can't stand people that don't watch my fucking videos but want to repeat to me shit that I already said in my videos. If I already talked about something and you didn't watch the video and you're coming to me telling me something I already talked about, that really pisses me off because it's disrespectful. That means that you don't give a fuck about my content. You don't care about me. You don't care about what I have to say, but you want to throw shit in my fucking face like I didn't say it before. Go watch all my fucking videos and then come talk to me. If you haven't watched all my videos, don't you fucking dare think about trying to educate me on anything. All right? Because I already put all this shit out. I've been put this shit out. I had a whole nother channel where I put information out, and now I have a second one where I'm doing the same fucking thing. So I don't want to hear this bullshit of, well, we can't watch all your content. We don't have time. Well, then don't fucking watch my content. If you don't have time to watch it, why are you here? Right? You don't have time to watch my videos. Why are you here? So if you don't have time to watch my videos, you don't have time to comment. So don't say shit. Do you understand? If you don't know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up. If you don't understand my videos or my content, you don't know what I'm saying, either figure it out or shut the fuck up. But don't try to act like you know what you're talking about. Anyways, if you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. Hit the notification bell. See you guys in the next video. Take care.